So I got another bone to pick with Rainbird. Here is an NDS 6-inch round drain grate, and here's a Rainbird 6-inch round drain grate. Now here's the thing is, we use 6-inch SDR 35 on these 6-inch round basins. When we do use these basins, we don't often use them, but when we do, we use the 6-inch SDR 35 as risers on these basins. And you can see this is a Rainbird 6-inch round catch basin. And we use these little 6-inch SDR 35 pieces of pipe for risers on these basins when we need to. The reason we have risers is sometimes we have to make our trunk line so deep to get the fall we need through the topography that we end up, the basins are low, so we got to use risers to bring the grate to the surface that we need it to be at. So here's the bone I got to pick with Rainbird Drain Grate. Is on their basin, they fit, right? And that's all fine and dandy. But then we use these risers, right? And on an NDS basin, you can cut these little nipples off, and it fits inside of a 6-inch SDR 35 pipe just nicely. So it fits in there good. There's a little bit of wiggle room. You can put a set screw if you wanted to, but you really don't need to. You know, all the water's coming in. As long as your system isn't backed up and the water's flooding throughout the whole thing, your grate should never float off. It should never be full of water like that. It should always be draining well. So water should only be going in. But here's the thing is that's an NDS grate. On these Rainbird grates, they're just a little proud. So you can't, the nipples, it doesn't matter. You can't cut those off because it doesn't fit in there in the first place. So look, it won't fit into an SDR 35 pipe. See, now it's got that whole rib that's way too wide. It's too big of an OD to fit inside the ID of an SDR 35 pipe for a riser. So I don't know if they do this on purpose or what. I know they do. I think NDS provides them too, is actual risers for these 6-inch round catch basins. But in the industry, we just use SDR 35 as these risers. But you can see this doesn't fit in there like that. So you'd have to, that's how you'd have to have it, basically, to use these Rainbird catch basins. I mean, grates. Versus if you just took this, cut those nipples off, and then this would sit flush inside of your riser. But that's the case with these Rainbirds. The other bone to pick with Rainbird is that they're pop-up emitters for 4-inch